Welcome to the deep dive. Ever wish you could just hit undo on something you did, maybe spill some coffee? Well, today we're exploring the software world's answer to that kind of idea.
Right. It's a design pattern called Memento.
Memento. Sounds a bit mysterious.
Maybe a little. But think of it simply as a blueprint, a way for software to, save and restore its previous states, like creating snapshots in time.
Okay, snapshots. So our mission today, for everyone listening, is to really get what this pattern is about and maybe more importantly, why it's so useful.
Exactly. Especially if you've ever been working on something digital and wished you could easily roll back a change or recover something you accidentally deleted.
Oh yeah, that feeling. That moment of panic when you realize you've lost something unsaved or made a change you immediately regret.
Memento is designed to tackle exactly that sort of problem. It gives developers a structured way to build in that kind of safety net.
So the core idea then is saving a specific state of an object, so you can jump back to it later if needed.
Precisely. Like putting a bookmark in the object's history. And the notes we're looking at, they actually use a really good example to illustrate this.
Yeah, the travel agency one.
That's the one. Yeah. Imagine a website selling vacation packages. The prices, they might change pretty often, right? Daily deals, changes in demand, that kind of thing.
Makes sense. Dynamic pricing.
Right. And the agency, they want a way to save the past prices for these packages. Maybe keep a record of what was offered yesterday or last week.
Okay. Why would they need that specifically? Maybe for historical records or if a customer disputes a price?
Could be. Or maybe a glitch in the system temporarily showed a wrong price and they need to revert. The notes suggest this is a very practical application needing to save and potentially restore previous states of those package deals.
Gotcha. So Memento provides the mechanism to do that saving and restoring. How does it actually work? What are the moving parts?
Well, our source material breaks it down into three key components. First, there's the Memento object itself. In the travel example, this is called Memento Pacheteuristic. This little object is the snapshot it holds the saved state. So maybe it just holds the price and the date it was saved. The notes say it manages the internal state and creates the images or intermediate states.
Right, so it is the saved data chunk. What's next?
Next up is the originator. That's the object whose state we actually want to save.
So in our example, the vacation package itself, the pacheteuristic.
Exactly. That's the originator. It's the thing that has the state, the current price, description, whatever. And importantly, the notes mention that the process of creating that memento, of saving the state, happens within this class. The originator knows how to save itself.
Okay, originator is the thing being saved. Memento is the saved snapshot. What's the third piece?
That's the caretaker. Think of the caretaker, like the librarian or the history keeper. Its job is to hold on to all the memento objects.
So it manages the collection of snapshots. In the example, that's the manager pachet.
Precisely. It asks the originator for a memento when it wants to save the current state, and it holds on to that memento. Later, if needed, it can give a memento back to the originator to restore that past state. It doesn't peek inside the memento, though its job is just safekeeping.
Interesting. It just holds the saved states without necessarily understanding what's in them.
Generally, yeah. That keeps things nicely separated. And the notes also point out something about implementation flexibility.
Yeah,
it mentions that the memento class, the bit holding the state, doesn't have to be a totally separate thing. Sometimes it makes sense to define it, like inside the originator class itself.
Like a private internal record.
Kind of. It depends on how much access control you need, how complex the state is. It just gives developers options,
Right, flexibility in the design. Okay, so travel package prices make sense, but where else does this pop up? I mean, the concept feels familiar.
It really is. The notes explicitly mention probably the most common examples, file saving in applications.
Like hitting save in a word processor.
Exactly. Each save point is essentially a memento of your document state at that time. And think bigger. System backups.
Like Time Machine on a Mac or System Restore on Windows.
You got it. That's basically the memento pattern applied on a much larger scale, saving the state of your entire system or large parts of it.
Okay, that really clicks. It's everywhere once you look for it.
And it also connects to other related ideas in software design. The notes mention the command pattern.
Command pattern. That's often about actions, right? And maybe undoing actions.
Precisely. If you want to implement an undo feature for an action, which is what the command pattern often helps with, you usually need to know what the state was before the action happened so you can restore it.
So you'd likely use a memento to capture that before state when the command is executed.
Exactly. They often work together really well. Memento provides the state snapshot that command might need for its undo capability.
Makes sense how these patterns build on each other. Okay, so let's quickly recap then. We've got the memento pattern.
Yeah.
It's a way to save and restore an object's internal state without breaking, encapsulation principles too much.
Right. You have the originator, the object with the state, the memento, the snapshot of the state, and the caretaker, the keeper of the snapshots.
And we saw it in action with the travel package pricing, but also realized it's fundamental to things like saving files and system backups.
The big takeaway really is that Memento is all about enabling reversibility.
Yeah.
It's about providing that safety net, that undo button, whether it's for a small change or a whole system state. It adds robustness.
A safety net, I like that. Which brings us to our final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
We've talked about software, but where else is this concept important? Think beyond code. Where in life, or maybe in other complex systems, is the ability to look back, to save a state, and potentially revert to it absolutely crucial?
That's a good one to ponder. History, maybe?
Yeah.
Personal decisions. Lots to think about there.
Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for diving deep with us today.